Today on the Boo Says people are just going to click off when they hear that. The Boo Says podcast. We're going to be discussing YouTube advertising being a massive fail, faking it until you're making it. That's not how that goes. Audio being good enough, and more. So go ahead and stick around.
American microphone police. Open up.
It is the Halloween Spectacular, and we are not going to do any edits. First card done. The first note that I have. Wait. My glasses are down, and now the American microphone police are in full force, which I know is a stupid idea. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. This lighting setup is incredibly dark. I can't read anything on my cards. What would make that worse? What would make it more difficult to read the notes? Wearing sunglasses in an extremely dark room. Which brings me to this point. Hey, open up. It's the American microphone. I have a flashlight. So I am going to use a flashlight to read my notes. And this is exactly why I think having a flashlight in your studio is incredibly important. YouTube short coming soon on Podcastage about having a flashlight in your studio. Anyway, happy Halloween. I don't know what my officer name is. Officer Bandrew? Officer Mike? Give me suggestions on what the American Microphone Police's primary officer's name ought to be, because I have no idea. It's Halloween. That's something. And I just want to say, please be safe out there. Check your cotton candy for razor blades, which is what I recommended last year. No, not what I recommended. What Voorhees Pizza recommended last year. Because the only thing more terrifying than serial killers is heart disease. So be safe out there, and if you find any kind of microphone violations, make sure to submit those to askbandrew@gmail.com. Go to askbandrew.com. There are instructions on how to submit stuff. Having a bunch of microphone violations would have been a very smart way to prepare for this, because when the microphone police commandeered the Bandrew Says podcast, should have known that I could be exposing violators, right? That sounds weird. Phrasing. I could be shaming violators right now for their microphone violations. First and only bit of news, YouTube advertising fail. Holy Toledo. How could YouTube advertising being failed? That was not a sentence. We are not editing. How did YouTube advertising fail? I am an idiot. It just came out in the Alphabet release, their stock release, that YouTube advertising missed the estimates by $400 million, a cool $500 million. Now you may be wondering, Officer Bandrew, Officer Kripke, whatever, Krumpke, why are you discussing this? This is not an investment show. This is not a stock show. You are not telling us to buy cryptocurrency. Why are you discussing this? Because this is important. Why is this important? This tells us a lot. It tells us a lot about what has been going on at YouTube. What have we discussed over the last 3 months, maybe? One of the biggest things, YouTube tested running 10 advertisements on a video. Now, what would running 10 advertisements on a video do? Increase revenue. What else have we discussed recently? YouTube putting expensive features behind a paywall. What does that do? Decrease cost and hopefully increase revenue. So what have they been trying to do over the last couple of months during this quarter that they just reported on? Decrease cost, increase revenue. And they still missed by a cool $500 million. So what does this tell us? This tells us that we're likely going to see quite a bit more experimentation. Believe you me, we are going to see more experimentation from YouTube. I don't know in what form. I don't know how it will impact YouTube content creators or YouTube viewers. But if I were you, I would be expecting some more changes. They did a lot to try to hit that mark. Missing it by $400 million is quite big. So they're going to be doing something to change that. We'll have to wait and see what it is, but keep your eyes open and be on your tippy toes. It is going to be coming. That is my estimation. But don't listen to me. I'm just a police officer at the American Microphone Police. We just talk about microphones. We know nothing about the stock market or revenue or anything. That is it for the news. Really, that's it. Now, we are going to talk about Halloween recommendations. Ooh! So I don't have any crazy Halloween recommendations, and I think I have recommended these in the past. First, I need to find them. Let's go ahead and do a music recommendation. 2 albums recommended to get into the spooky season the day before Halloween. Misfits Collection 1. As I punch the microphone and move it off axis, I need to shine my flashlight on it. Misfits Collection 1 and Misfits Collection 2. I am embarrassed to admit I did not listen to the Misfits prior to 2020. And then I started listening to them around October 2020. And now I associate both of these albums with the Halloween season. If you don't know anything about the Misfits, they are a horror punk band, a horror rock band. They sing about Martians, they sing about aliens, they sing about murder. And it's very lo-fi, it's very garagey sounding. It's not high quality recordings, at least the early stuff is not. The thing that works for me, though, is it sounds kind of like doo-wop, kind of like a beautiful crooner singing when Danzig is in it. He has this very smooth voice, and it's this mixture of a smooth and beautiful voice singing about horrifying stuff that works so well, mixed with standard chord progressions you would expect from a doo-wop group or something along those lines, 1950s style music. So Misfits Collection 1 and Misfits Collection 2 are the music recommendations for me. Then we have movie recommendations. The first one I think I just mentioned. No, Bandrew, who runs this show, mentioned a few weeks ago. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is the first recommendation. It's a spooky movie. Halloween masks turn people into bugs or something. Their heads turn into bugs. It's really weird. People didn't like it when it initially came out. I still don't think people like it because they go into Halloween thinking, oh, I want to see Michael Myers. This has nothing to do with Michael Myers. He's not in it. He's not in this movie. But as a Halloween movie, it's fantastic. I'm going to watch this again as soon as I finish editing, as soon as Bandrew finishes editing and uploading this show. And the second one, a Halloween classic, another one which I will be watching, Hocus Pocus. I haven't watched this one this season yet, and that is one that will just get you right in the Halloween mood, because witches, black cats, spooky things, yeah, that's Hocus Pocus for you. You know what else is spooky? You know what else is terrifying? Dehydration. So go ahead, take a quick break, and have a sip of water. Let me know in the comments, what are you sipping on today? Okay, those are my Halloween recommendations. Is that everything on that card? That is everything on that card. Next, hey, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Pay attention. What have I been testing? You have been listening to it. Woo! No, I am not overhead miking again. I am using the Electro Voice RE520. I know, it's $100 off. RE420, JK lol, the RE520, which is a supercardioid, handheld condenser microphone. Goes for $300 dues, and I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to put this on the stand. It's been sitting on my shelf for maybe a year and a half. I went back and watched part of last year's Halloween show to see what I did, if there's anything that I could co-opt from this loser Bandrew to do on this show. And I saw that I was using a handheld microphone, and I thought, you know what? That seems like it would be fun. So I went onto my shelf and said, what have I not reviewed that is a handheld microphone? The RE520. So that is what I am using. But I am actually doing something very scary today. I am running it through the Lewitt Connect 6 again. Full disclosure, sent to me or Bandrew by Lewitt free of charge to make a review. I will be doing that in a few weeks. I just need a bit more time with it. But I am burning processing in. I am doing it. I am risking it again because all or nothing. What's scarier than that? Risking an entire recording by burning in the processing. I did make sure I wasn't getting too much compression. Most of the time, I'm not getting any. I do have the expander on with a very low noise gate, very low threshold, and the EQ is doing a 60 hertz high-pass filter. Card done. That's what I've been testing. You know what else is scary? Dropping your freaking flashlight so you can't read anything. Let's jump to what you had to say. And I don't have these printed out. Don't have the budget for it. We are going to go to the monitor. The first comment comes from TJ, and he says, on the topic of chasing perfection and dealing with criticism, I've found this idea to be the most true. Every performer secretly believes every word that every critic has ever written about them. Unfortunately, one negative comment will live in our minds and carry far more weight than 100 positive responses. TJ, thank you very much for the comment, and unfortunately, I think you are 1,000,000% correct. This is something that I think something. Did I just say something? This is something that I believe every single content creator, every single musician, every single artist has suffered from. You may get 99 comments saying, that was fantastic, well done, great job, keep going, you're wonderful, this really helped. And then you'll get one comment saying, you fat loser, I hate everything that you choose to be, you are the scum of the earth, the world is worse because you have chosen to make this video. F you, you idiot. And that little comment, it'll just eat away at you. It will just gnaw at your mind, gnaw at your self-worth a little bit. And then this happens every single day. You will get 99, hey, go get 'em. Attaboy, attagirl. And then that one comment calling you out. This video was the worst thing I have ever seen. You are wrong. You are an idiot. 365 times a year, one a day, idiot. It just eats away at you. So 100% correct. I haven't found a way to work around this. You can train yourself to care a bit less about it. Who cares? It's some random person on the internet. But still, it does have a minor impact on you. The best way that I have found is just stop checking. Don't check your comments every single day. You don't need to. There is not going to be a comment that is time sensitive. Try to limit the amount of time that you spend checking comments, reading comments, because if you limit the time to 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, maybe right after you publish a video, it's going to limit the amount of time that you read these comments that just gnaw away at you. That is what I would recommend to mitigate this, because that is a serious issue and a lot of people struggle. Everybody who creates content struggles with that, I believe. So thank you very much, TJ. I agree with you completely. Negative comments, negative feedback, negative reviews will eat away at you. I remember my old band got a negative review, and we actually did take a photo of it and put it on our MySpace page because we thought it was so funny. The best review I ever saw, I can't remember the band, I can't remember the album, but it was in Alternative Press. The review was, "It's music like this that makes the terrorists want to take our freedom away." I don't think I have ever heard a more scathing review in my entire life. I doubt I will ever read another review that negative. Just brutal. Just so mean. Thank you very much, TJ. Appreciate you. You are right on. Next, we have a comment from Audio Hotline from Bronson. Take it away. Wait, why am I saying take it away? I have to read it. I am going to read what Bronson had to say now. "The last while, I took a break from watching YouTube. This is one of the first things I watched now that I've started watching again, and I think it's one of the best things I could have seen/heard. I just made a mistake in my latest review, and it has been bothering me. But it's definitely not a big enough deal to take the video down, cut a sentence, add a sentence, so this was a good message for me to hear. I need to stop striving for perfection, but rather just focus on doing a little better next time. I appreciate it, Bandrew. Also, the lighting is fun." Bronson, thank you very much for the comment. I really do appreciate it. If anybody watching and listening to this does not follow Audio Hotline on YouTube, go do it. He reviews microphones and audio equipment, and on top of that, he does a podcast with Obscure Mics. I think it's Obscure Hotline or Audio. Yeah, it's Obscure Hotline podcast with Bark from Obscure Mics. Go check it out. I am very happy that the message last week from that idiot Bandrew resonated with you. Great to hear, because everybody struggles with that. Everybody who puts out videos will find a reason to take something down and re-upload it, correct it. You will get, going back to TJ's comment, you will get a comment saying, "You screwed up this one line, you idiot, you didn't say it exactly right, it wasn't as clear as it could have been, F you, you are misleading people, you are the scum of the earth." You'll get comments like that. Oh well. It's good enough for me. Can't be perfect. Sorry you aren't happy with it. I got pushback on one of my recent shorts. What was it? Oh, on one of Podcasters' recent shorts. "You can't call that vintage, it's only 20 years old. That's not vintage. That's misleading." They didn't call it misleading. "That's not vintage, it's 20 years. Is the PS2 vintage also?" Yeah, technically. Because 20 years, it's widely regarded as vintage. 20 to 30 years, somewhere in between there, is regarded as vintage. So yes, the PS2 would be vintage. Sorry if you don't like it. Sorry if it makes you feel old. So I am happy to have provided some confirmation, some comfort to you in allowing you to make mistakes. We are all able to make mistakes. This podcast episode is a perfect example of that, because good golly gee willikers, we are not going to edit, except when I am going between the reading, because I suck at reading, and my mustache falling off and all of that. Okay. Thank you, Bronson. Go check him out. The final comment comes from Inner Cynic. He says, or she says, "On your early videos, you came across as over-caffeinated. Now you're comfortable in your reviewer's skin, and it shows. Good on ya." Inner Cynic, thank you very much for the comment. I really do appreciate that, and that really does mean a lot to me, because that is something that I worked on a lot. I wanted to include this, not to give myself a pat on the back and say, "Attaboy, good job, you're great." It's because I wanted to reiterate the idea of fake it till you make it. I am deeply uncomfortable 99% of the time talking into a camera on a microphone while listening to yourself and making sure you're not popping or anything. It's unnatural. It doesn't feel right. It is not a skill that most people, the vast majority of people, are born with. And when I started making videos, I was terrible. I was terrified. I was awkward. I was uncomfortable. I was self-conscious. So what would I do? I would watch other YouTubers see how they were doing it and pretend that I was comfortable. I had just given up drinking, so I was drinking a lot. I gave up drinking alcohol. So what did I replace that with? Consuming a pot of coffee a day. So I was horrifyingly overcaffeinated, probably on the verge of death because my heart was going to explode from so much caffeine. And this was around the time where everybody, hey, what's up, smash a like button. So it was a mixture of overcaffeination, being awkward and uncomfortable and self-conscious, and trying to mimic other YouTubers to see, okay, how do they do it? How do people present on camera? I was watching a lot of Vlogbrothers. They didn't scream like that, but if you watch a lot of my early videos, I would do a lot of jump cuts and a lot more edits because I thought that's how you did it. A lot of those videos are gone now, thank goodness, but thank you very much for noticing, and yes, I faked it until I made it, and I am still uncomfortable, but now I can actually record with a few other people around. When SoundSpeeds was out here a year and a half ago, when I used to have a roommate, I could not record when they were home. I could only record when they were out of the house. But when SoundSpeeds was here, I recorded the entire intro to that bit while he was in the other room. I did not care in the slightest. So as you do it more and more just through repetition, you become acclimated to doing it. My gosh, this camera is about to end. Okay, that was an edit because the cameras ran out of time because, oh no, we won't allow you to record longer than 29 minutes, 59 seconds because then it would be a camcorder and taxes or tariffs or something. Anyway, yes, through iteration, through constant practice, I have become more comfortable on camera. I have become more comfortable with my presenting style. I am no longer trying to copy somebody else. And that kind of goes back to what I was discussing last week, being a basic B. Because I am a basic B not through trying to follow other trends, but by finding stuff that I like that just so happens to be popular among people who like the same stuff as me. And that ultimately makes me a basic B, because I am finding what I am comfortable in. And just like presenting, just like producing videos, I was faking it for years, and then through iteration upon practicing, I became more comfortable. I became more myself. People will I still randomly get comments, oh my gosh, are you okay? You still sound depressed. You're just not yelling anymore. Yeah, I'm not yelling anymore. Because who wants to hear me? Hey guys, what's up? Oh, today we're reviewing this microphone. Nobody wants to hear that. I don't want to hear that. When editing, that's painful. So thank you very much, Inner Cynic. I think I said that 5 times. I appreciate you. Now, let us jump to my favorite part of the show, the Ask Bandrew segment. Welcome back to the Ask Bandrew segment, the segment where you ask me, Officer Bandrew, and I answer. I try to answer. I just realized looking in the viewfinder, I kind of look like one of the village people with this mustache. It's just not a good look for me. If you want to submit a question, go to askbandrew.com. There are instructions on how to send in audio, video, and text. I do prefer audio and video because then I don't have to read. I am terrible at reading. I screw up all the time, and it makes editing difficult. So I prefer audio and video. Instructions, askbandrew.com. Today, we have a video submission. And today, I am allowing a violation of the rule that submissions need to be 60 seconds or less. This submission is 8 minutes long. That's right, an 8-minute long submission, because this is a narrative submission. if you are listening to this, go to bandrewsays.com or youtube.com/@BSP. And watch this. This comes from Liberty Dude. Take it away, Liberty Dude.
Well, hello, Mr. Microphone Man. As you can tell, I'm kind of on an adventure. I'm not in my normal recording space, and I have a question on whether or not this is acceptable or not. I got a trailer out here. I'm gonna go up to the trailer. I got just a little ways ahead, and when I get up closer, I'll start again. All right, I made it back to the trailer. It's fall, getting a little dark. I'll put some lights on the inside. It won't be natural lighting, but it will work. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna go inside and make myself a sandwich. And while I'm making the sandwich, I'll ask you the question. But I'm down here on a trip. I decided to come down here to, let's just say the South, to help a friend out with a little job security. Let's go inside and make some lunch and talk. Hey, welcome to the trailer. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is asking you a question. I was in the Discord server the other day. Hey, if you're not part of Discord, you're in Discord. And we were talking about some of the... yes, I edited that. There you go. So we were in Discord and we were talking about, you know, doing production and how much fun we have doing this and that. And it hit me. It hit me hard. You know, you said in the BSP, this is our golf. And I've been saying that to people for years. The problem is, I haven't been golfing. It's been bothering me. You know, I'm buying a club here. I'm you know, buying new golf balls and tees, and I'm talking about it with people. But you know, I'm just not golfing. I'm not producing. Just a little after COVID, because of the school system that needs to online school, whatever. Things kind of went downhill for my studio space, as far as it being a recording space. It was needed for online school for my nephews and nieces and whatnot. Anyhow, I don't want to go too long on that because I know it's supposed to be under a minute, which it won't be, so I'm sorry for that too. But here's the deal. I'm traveling, right? And I want, because I want to produce, I brought some equipment with me. I've got my Zoom LiveTrack L8, and I've got a lavalier microphone on me. Over here I have two small diaphragm condenser microphones. They're two different brands. You know, one's an Apollo mic and one's a Sterling mic. And I got 6 microphones plugged in to the thing where I'm going to be able to pick. Okay, can you just do me a favor? I'm trying to record. I'm making lunch. Don't worry. Just quiet, relax, stop moving. Okay, I'm recording over here. Just for one, just take it easy. Okay? All right. So I'm on a trip, and I've got to get some stuff done for my trip. But at the same point in time, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? You ought to try and take some of your stuff out there and try and do some production, have some fun too. So that's what I'm doing, right? And the idea is that you just need to sometimes take a shot at something. You gotta make it a little bit. Oh, by the way, another lavalier. And the deal is that we got a lot to do, and some of us just don't understand when and what you're supposed to do at the time. So my question is, hold on 1 second, please. Just give me a sec. How's that? You like that boom on? Huh? Yeah. See? Great. Okay. So I was in the Discord server, and we're talking about you know, what's good enough what's acceptable enough, right? I've come out, I got my live track and this and that, whatever. And the deal is that we're just trying to figure out if you're going to go out on the road and record, and you're going to be gone for a while, to what level do you want to go to make things work for you? And I don't know the answer to the question, and that's kind of what I'm asking you. You know, there's a lot of noises in the world, and if we're not in our recording space, you know, why am I going for old meat? Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to get fresh meat, especially when you're traveling. But you know, you gotta understand that just because you can hold a stick doesn't make you a boom operator, does it? No, it certainly doesn't. All right, so task 1 done. So my big question was, how far do you go to make your audio good? I mean, let's say there's something that you can, I don't know, mitigate the circumstances to kind of eliminate some of the noise effect. How far are you willing to go? Is it okay to use a lavalier microphone and cross your hopes and hope for the best and make sure your cables and maybe mic up? Oh, I didn't tell you. Over here, I've got a couple mics here too. See, one is the Apollo mic, and I've got its companion here, and one is a Sterling mic, and here's its companion here, just in case I'm over here and I'm talking, and you know, who knows? You know, we're trying to get some fresh meat out here, right? And you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to kind of get what you need, right? And you need to just understand that you need good tools. And I understand you need good tools. I get the idea. You need good tools. I do. I get it. And you got to work it in there, you know. And you got to really get into what you're doing and make sure you're doing it right. I got you. I hear you. You know. And sometimes it takes a little work more than what people think you should be doing, and sometimes it takes you a different kind of thing. But how far are you willing to go to get your good audio? Is good enough good enough? Is this good enough? You know, was it good enough when I started? Are there things that we need to do? Who knows? Okay, who knows? Not me. Okay, all I know is Happy Halloween.
And there you go. That is why I allowed an 8-minute submission. That was a lot of work, turned out extremely well, and it was narrative. I hope you enjoyed that, because when I saw that, I loved every second of it. To reiterate, what is the question? How far is too far to get good audio? Or how good is good enough? I want to explain something about that submission. Liberty Dude had 6 microphones set up, and the entire premise was he was going to switch between all of the different microphones as he moved around the trailer to eliminate unnecessary and unwanted sound sources. I got a message from him, hey, the audio file with all 6 tracks was corrupted. So I don't have any of the audio from the microphones. All I have is the camera's audio. And as soon as I saw the video, I thought, well, that's perfect. That is a perfect illustration to the question that you are asking. How good does good enough have to be? How far do you have to go to get good audio? First, let's address how far you have to go. Obviously, you don't need to do what you did in the video. I do not advocate for that. I do not advocate for eliminating unwanted sound sources in that way. I do think if you are legally able to shut off unwanted sound sources, that's the least that you can do. I think the second thing that you need to do is go as far as developing good microphone technique. Stay a consistent distance from the microphone. Use the polar pattern of the microphone to your benefit. I made an entire video, 10 tips on getting better sounding vocal recordings. Watch that. That's as far as I think you need to go. Take those steps to get good audio. But as far as how good is good enough, I do think it is a little bit arbitrary, but the audio from that submission was more than good enough because I could understand what was being said, the audio was not distracting, and that's pretty much all you need. I guess it doesn't have to be, your audio would have to not be painful to listen to. If your audio is painful to listen to, it's distracting, or it is unintelligible, that's where it becomes an issue. On that video, none of that was the case. It wasn't painful. I could hear exactly what you were saying, and there wasn't so much background noise that it was distracting. So I think how good is good enough is arbitrary, but meet those 3 criteria and you are there. And that's why I think it's such an important video to include. That entire thing. You spent a lot of time making that video, and you had all the microphones set up, and you were recording them, and then the file got corrupted. You could have said, heck it, I'm throwing in the towel, I am done, I am not going to send this in, that's it. But you went ahead, you checked the audio from your camera, the camera's audio was more than sufficient. Now that may not always be the case. The camera's microphone may not be sufficient in a lot of instances. But in that specific case, it was. So I think that is my response. That is what I would recommend. First off, how far do you have to go? Make a little bit of effort. Make a little bit of effort to make the audio sound good. Watch my video, 10 tips on how to get a better sounding vocal recording. Do that. If you're going into film sound, go watch Sound Speeds. He'll give you all the information you need on booming. I don't think he's done too much with lav miking. He should be doing that. Sound Speeds. Make videos on proper lav miking because I need to copy you when I start doing lav mics, okay? And then, as far as how good is good enough, not painful. The voice, the spoken word is intelligible. And it is not distracting. There is not so much background noise that it throws you off. It confuses people. It makes people on edge. So that is my recommendation. Those are my words. Those are my words. Did I really just say that? You know, the American Microphone Police ought to kick me off the force because I clearly have brain damage. Those are my cards. I have nothing else. Are you still there? Are you still there? You have the right to remain silent. Okay. I really don't understand how people live with a mustache. It tickles the inside of your nose and then makes your nose run. It is deeply uncomfortable. And then when you drink stuff, come on now. Your mustache gets all wet and you store food in it. It's disgusting. I can't wear this anymore. That is it. The American Microphone Police episode is over. Again, if you have any microphone violations, send them. I need to create an American Microphone Police email. I have the domain and everything. I just need to do it. Send in the violations currently to askbandrew.com. Maybe once I get enough of them, I will do a dedicated American Microphone Police video. That would be a fun thing to do on the main channel. The issue with that, I don't want to come across like I am crapping on smaller creators, so it would need to be larger stuff, larger creators, or news organizations or something like that, because I don't think I could, in good faith, I don't think I could in good conscience, conscience, I don't think I could go after and doo-doo all over the little creator who make mistakes, because we all make mistakes, as terrifying as it may be. Okay, that is it for this week's episode. I appreciate you so much. Again, I just went into old bit. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. You're the greatest. Don't forget to smash that like button. I hate that guy so much. I hate him. But I do appreciate you watching and listening. If you are somebody who celebrates Halloween, please be safe, have fun, check your candy. Don't eat too much candy. You will get sick. You will not feel well. Moderation is key. I don't like buying any kind of food that's delicious like candy because I know I will eat it. I only had one Snickers and one of the Baby Ruth Little Fun Size yesterday. I still have an entire little pot. What are they called? Cauldron full of it. I'm going to have to leave it outside and just say, take it. Take it. Leave the bowl. Take the candy. I will eat all of it. And then all of my effort to become healthier will have been in vain because I ate 20,000 calories of Snickers and Baby Ruths. Be safe. Enjoy your candy. Enjoy your time. Let me know what your Halloween movie and music recommendations are. And let's stay spooky. The American Microphone Police will be on patrol. I will talk to you next year. Or next week. Next year. I'm an idiot. I will talk to you then. I love you. You are the greatest. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Sunday, I will talk at you. See you then. Bye-bye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boop.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.